All right, today we're jumping into a really sharp analysis from the GeoActive Group. They're talking about the enterprise AI agenda for 2026, and trust me, it's a big deal. We're not talking about the next cool feature here. No, this is about a fundamental shift in thinking, from just using AI to actually architecting it to build a real, lasting competitive advantage. So let's just kick things off with a question that every single leader needs to be asking themselves right now. Take a hard look at what you're doing with AI. Are you actually building something unique, an asset that belongs to you? Or are you just, well, setting up shop on rented land? This question, it cuts right to the heart of the problem with how most companies are tackling AI today. And here's why that question is so urgent. The GeoActive Group puts it pretty bluntly. The whole era of just plugging into a generic off-the-shelf AI, like a big public LLM and calling that your strategy, yeah, that's ending. It's over. That passive consumer mindset is becoming obsolete, like really fast. A huge pivot is on the horizon. And that leads us right into this first big idea, what the report calls the AI tenant trap. This is the danger zone where, honestly, a lot of companies are stuck right now, and they might not even see it. Okay, so here's the bottom line. Think about it. If you and every single one of your competitors are using the exact same public AI model, where's the edge? Where's the advantage? There isn't one, right? Your AI just becomes another utility, kind of like your electricity bill. It's just a cost of doing business, not something that makes you special. You end up trapped, paying for a service that gives you absolutely zero competitive lift. So how in the world do you get out of that trap? Well, you've got to evolve. You have to make a conscious shift from being a passive AI tenant to becoming an active AI architect. This is the new game for 2026. And I love how this slide just lays it all out side by side. Look at the tenant, they're just consuming generic AI, their data might be exposed, and whatever little advantage they get disappears in a flash. But the architect, now that's a different story. They're building something that is theirs and theirs alone. They protect their unique business secrets, their context, and by doing that, they create a durable advantage, a real competitive moat that nobody else can just copy. Okay, so you want to make that transformation, right? To help you get there, the GeoActive Group came up with this roadmap. It's called the Sovereign Intelligence Maturity Model. Just think of it as your guide for measuring how you're doing on this journey, from being a renter to becoming an owner. This roadmap really breaks down the whole journey. You start out in what they call the chaos phase, which is basically just using whatever commodity AI is out there. Then you start to get organized and actually architect it. But the real goal, the prize, is getting to level 4, the sovereign enterprise, where you truly own your intelligence. And level 5? Well, that's the future. That's where these sovereign systems start talking to each other. Now, let's zoom in on the most important jump you have to make. It's this leap from the chaos phase all the way to the sovereign enterprise. This is where the magic happens. You go from just renting public models where AI is an expense on your P&L to owning smaller, specialized models that are fine-tuned with your secret sauce. And this is the absolute key. Your intelligence goes from being a consumable you pay for every month to a capital asset on your balance sheet. It becomes a source of real proprietary advantage. But what do you actually build this proprietary advantage with? What's the fuel for this whole thing? It's probably not what you're thinking. It's not about who has the most terabytes of data. It's about finding and tapping into your own undiscovered gold mine. And that gold mine? It's something called tacit knowledge. Look, it's not the numbers in your databases. It's that gut feeling your senior engineer has about why a part is going to fail, even when all the data says it's fine. It's the intuition of your best salesperson who just knows what to say to a nervous customer. It's the why behind the what. It's all that incredible wisdom walking around in the heads of your best people. That is the asset you need to capture and digitize. And when you capture this knowledge, you get this amazing 2-for-1 deal. From a strategic or sovereign view, you use it to train your own custom AI models, creating reasoning engines that your competitors literally cannot build. And from a workforce view, you use it to close the experience gap in your own company so your junior people can start performing like your seasoned veterans. It just makes everybody better, fast. Okay, so we get it. The goal is ownership, and the fuel is that tacit knowledge. But how do you actually build this thing? Well, the report lays out 3 clear, distinct tech paths you can take to get to AI sovereignty. So path number 1 is the hybrid sovereign. This is for any organization where data security and privacy are absolutely non-negotiable. The whole point here is to keep your intelligence completely locked down and isolated. You'd use a platform like Google Distributed Cloud to run a super powerful model like Gemini in what's called an air-gapped environment. That means it's literally disconnected from the public internet. The strategic value here is just huge. You get the best-in-class AI, but your sensitive data never, ever leaves your control. Think about that. Maximum power, maximum security. All right, path number 2 is for those who want to take it even a step further. It's called the Open Weight Vanguard, and this is for organizations that want to own the core IP of the model itself. We're talking total control. So what this means is taking a powerful open source model, like the ones from Meta or Mistral, and running it on your own private gear. The critical thing here is that you own the model's weights. That's basically the AI's brain. When you own the weights, you own the reasoning. This completely frees you from being dependent on any single vendor, and it's how you truly turn your AI into a capital asset. And finally, there's a third path. This one is for companies that want all the power of a sovereign model, but without the headache of managing all the complex hardware themselves. And that's where the sovereign API partners come in. This means you work with specialized partners like Cohere or Anthropic. They give you a managed, super secure environment where your data privacy is locked down by contract. It's a trust-based model, and it's perfect for organizations that are like, hey, we want top-tier AI, but we don't want to get into the business of running our own massive server farm. So, let's pull this all together. What's the final takeaway? What does all this mean for you looking ahead? It all boils down to one simple idea, the 2026 build mandate. And this quote, man, it just nails it. The goal here isn't to have a slightly better chatbot than your competitor. The real goal is to use these sovereign AI systems, fueled by your unique internal knowledge, to build a fundamentally smarter, more efficient, and more competitive organization from the ground up. And that really just leaves us with one last question. As we rocket towards 2026, the lines are being drawn, and the choice is becoming crystal clear. Is your organization going to keep renting commodity intelligence and just hope for the best? Or are you going to step up, seize this mandate to build, to own your intelligence, and to become an architect of your own future? The choice is yours.